Plan for this upcoming race is to go objective 1, have fun. Objective 2, try to finish the race. Objective 3, keep everybody entertained in our group, which is mostly our family. This is the Robinson family racing car, 944, driven by Grant Robinson and Ashley Robinson, their brother and sister, 16 and 28 years old. This will be Grant's first time driving in a desert race. He drove last year at the age of 15 at a short course race, which is only about a mile long. This next race coming up will be 250 miles that the two of them will be splitting the driving on. So one of our co-drivers is Dan. He's a good friend of mine and a Volkswagen enthusiast for 40 some years. And I feel Dan's a good fit in the race car because of his vast Volkswagen experience, as well as he's very good at coaching and coaching the kids. So he's been Ashley's co-rider for since we've had this car. In between races, and it depends how many miles the race was the race before. But let's say the last race we did, which was 250 miles. So for every desert race, which is 250 miles, we will go over the car and replace the upper and lower ball joints. We will take all the wheels and tires off, clean and adjust the brakes. We'll pull the floor pan off. We'll pull the seats out and just basically do a chassis inspection. In addition to that, we go over safety items. We check our fire extinguishers to make sure that they're fully charged. We keep 2 on the car. Our helmets and safety gear gets inspected each race. Our visors get cleaned. The fire suits we wear, they get inspected for rips and tears, cleaned as well, so that they're performing at their maximum. Race morning, we'll get up and we will check the air in the tires, because the air in the tires will change overnight if it's cool to hot temperatures each race or each night at the racetrack. We also have in the back here, we have it's kind of down in between there, but this is the hose. It is a drink hose for the driver and co-driver. It's in a kind of a backpack. You can see the straps here. So we fill that with water, so we have drinks while we're driving. So that's just a little pinch valve that you put in your mouth, bite, suck, you got water. We also keep bottled water in there in case you got to walk out of the desert, as well as granola bars and snacks. During the race, the biggest unpredictability is a breakdown. We don't know what's going to break on the car. If we knew what was going to break on the car or could break on the car, we would fix it or make it better before we went to the race. Comparing racing to life is a little like the curveball. You don't know what the race is going to throw at you and how you need to adapt. And I think that could be the same in life. You don't know what is going to happen next. You could get into a car accident on your way to work. You could lose your job that day, and you got to learn to adapt and adjust. And I think that's what compares the two of racing and life in general. So this race is going to be one of Ashley's last races. As I mentioned, my daughter Ashley, 28 years old, she got diagnosed with the BRCA gene for breast cancer. So she'll be going through some surgeries over the next few summers to have a mastectomy completed, and then as well as reconstruction. This race will be her last race before she starts going through these treatments and surgeries, so she'll be out of the seat for a while. But we are aware of breast cancer in our family now, and we are doing preventions and support. Good morning, and it's race morning, Yerington, Nevada. It's a nice brisk 31 degrees to start the morning. Just checking out of the room, getting ready to head out to the start finish line. We started off 9:30 in the morning with Ashley driving, Dan co-driving. They had a pretty much uneventful first lap. We're here at the Yerington at the start finish line in our pit for 9:44. They just came in and did a driver change. They're on their second lap. We're first in class. Dan is now driving with Grant in the right seat. Haven't had any issues yet. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that it stays like that. There's only one other car in our class. We're both very competitive, but we're both very slow and go and trying to win the race and finish the race. Because to finish first, you first must finish. They come into the pits after the lap with a really loud exhaust noise. And we made quick work of it as they had called us on the radio and told us that there was an exhaust leak. Race going so far, we're on our third lap of 5. Grant's driving. He's leading our class by, I'm thinking, 30-45 minutes over our competitor. So they're into the pits. We're going to do a driver swap, give the driver a break, and then send him out on another lap. And they got about halfway around the course, and the throttle cable broke. And it was in a good spot because they were coming down hills. They were able to coast to where there was a checkpoint. And one of our buddies at this checkpoint, and he was able to jerry-rig the throttle cable so that they could have something to push on to get the car to move. The fix at the time in the field with what they had was a piece of electrical wire where they took the throttle cable and looped it around, and then took electrical wire and tied about 100 knots in it, ran it up to the carburetor and tied it in so we could actually use the gas pedal to make the car move. Electrical wire is not the best thing for throttle cable because it has a plastic or rubber sheathing on it, and what happened is that sheathing started stretching and pulling off. So here's our semi-permanent fix on the throttle cable that we made in the pits. Here's the broken cable. Which goes up through the engine. It broke here, made it about 6 inches too short. So we took and had another cable, which the full cable is sitting up here, the excess, and we just tied the two together with these cable clamps, and that gave us full throttle. I can see it's loose now, so it probably doesn't have full throttle. Bad news, folks. We are on our last lap. We just passed this visual, and car was going really good. It was looking good. Got some great pictures. And about a mile up the course, boom! Clutch explodes. No forward gears, no forward movement. So we got a chase truck coming from Vora, and they're going to go up and latch onto him with a tow strap, bring him out. We're going to put him on the trailer and head on home. Well, here we are. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. Clutch exploded on the car. We were leading the class. I don't know if the second place guy is going to get around to beat us, but it's possible. He said he was going to finish the race. So that's a wrap. Today the Desert won. Usually we win. We try to win. Sometimes we don't. Today we didn't. So till next time. Thanks.